Oh, damn. So I just cleaned this thing up, threw the new fender on. I just spray painted it white for the time being, since I don't really care. I mean, it matches, it's white, looks good. Put the new corner light on, wiped it all down inside and out, and looks pretty good. There's a shitload of sand in there from All-Star Bash inside the truck, but yeah, just getting it ready for Cornerstone Auto Glass's grand opening tomorrow. And cleaning up the shop. I went and picked up some welding equipment. I'll show you what that is right now. So I might be buying this MIG welder from a friend of mine, so I went and picked up a spool of 035, a 45-pound spool of 035 for it. And then this is the TIG welder I've been using, my Lincoln Squarewave 200. I went and picked up a Speedway torch for it, a water-cooled torch. I really like the Speedway torches because they have like really good arc stability, and they seem to have really good gas coverage as well. But in order to run that, I have to have a water circulator. So I picked up that used water circulator, and I don't know if it's any good. Basically, the guy just let me have it, and if it works, then I have to pay him for it. But if it doesn't work, then I'm not going to take it. So I'm going to try and get that all set up, get that thing flushed out, hooked up with the new lines to the torch and all that, and hopefully get that thing rocking, and maybe do a sample with that new MIG welder too, because I got a big truck scheduled in like next week where I got to shorten the frame on a 5500 Dodge, so I'm gonna need a bigger welder for that. But this is the cover for that water circulator, and this is like the special coolant you have to put in it so it doesn't freeze and doesn't corrode and all that stuff. I was contemplating just putting the water wetter in it, but supposedly that's not the best idea. So yeah, I'm gonna get to try and setting up these welders right now. So filled the thing with water just to try and see if it would circulate out of the pump. The pump's pushing good pressure, but it wasn't drawing a vacuum. So I took the cooler off to inspect the cooler, and it's got two holes in it, in the copper lines. One right there. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little better. So right there, and then there's one right there too. So I'm going to try and solder it real quick, because I don't have any copper filler rod, or I would maybe try and TIG it, but even like getting down in there would probably be kind of a bitch anyways. So I'm going to try and solder it, and then if that doesn't work, I have my old power steering cooler that I could clean out and kind of retrofit to work with this thing. So, I mean, typically these things brand new are like $700 to $1,000. So even if I have to invest, I mean, even if I buy the thing in its current state with the broken cooler for like $200, I'm still so far ahead. Like, it's just kind of silly that such a simple piece is so expensive. But I'm going to do my best, try and make what's here work. I'll straighten out all these fins too, because they're pretty fucking haggard. But yeah, that kind of sucks. Alright, so I got the water cooler all set up. It looks kind of crazy because, you know, this machine isn't meant to be water cooled. So I got all the gas and water lines hooked up, got the cooler or the circulator mounted down here, and then the return line and the new Speedway torch hooked up. I fired it up and it's leaking from the back of the pump, so that kind of fucking sucks. I might just, you know, take the fucking pump apart, see what I can do with that, but chances are I'm probably gonna have to buy a new damn pump. But I mean, it fits on the cart really good. Yeah, so I gotta return all the rest of this crap that I didn't use. It would have been nice if that thing would have just worked and been done, because then I could fucking like use it tomorrow and make money with it. But I could just swap out the torches to the old torch. It's not a big deal. It would have been nice to get set up with that deal. So now I think I'm going to start fucking around, see if I can get that MIG to work. Who knows how long that thing's been fucking sitting. I know it was riding around in the back of a truck for a couple months, so we'll see. So that's just a little tiny sample right there. Back here, I was having an issue. I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. The rollers for the wire size are the wrong size, so I need to flip the rollers around, and it should be a lot better. Because the tip on the machine is an 035 tip. I put 035 wire in it, but I have a feeling that the rollers are on like 45 thousandths wire. So I'm gonna open it up, check that out, and try again. Typically all the experience I've had with these weld charts have been total bullshit and they never work, but for this machine, for some reason, it actually fucking works. So I set it up for 5/16, just with the numbers that they had, and it actually did really well. So that's just a constant pass, that's a start-stop, and then that's a slightly different pattern, and then this was a downhill right there. It's a little slaggy, but I have anti-slag spray or anti-spatter spray, and you know, dial the wire back just a little bit, and it should be pretty good. So this machine works fucking sweet. It's like 7, 8 o'clock, something like that. So I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna come tomorrow, try and do a little bit of work before Cornerstone's thing, and maybe try and do a front alignment on the drift truck. It felt real squirrely. We'll be back tomorrow. Alright, it's tomorrow, and I'm going to do a quick alignment on the front end of the drift truck, make sure everything's tight and shit on the front, and hang out. I got a little bit of cleaning up to do next door in the hot rod shop, and then just hang out today. Today's going to kind of be a chill day. Going to go to the Cornerstone Auto Glass grand opening today, and hang out, eat, drink, bullshit, and just have a good time. So trying to just kind of like take it easy today, but yeah, got to get this thing sorted out in the front end because it's still kind of fucked up from All-Star Bash. So got it all set up. There's a couple loose things. For some reason, all the jam nuts on these coilovers, like every time I do an event, like the jam nuts on these coilovers come loose, so I have to tighten them up every time. Don't know exactly why that's happening. The toe was alright. We're towed in like a 32nd, almost a 16th of an inch, which is you know, pretty good for like driving this thing on the street. So now I'm just gonna kind of do like a once over check on it, and then just keep cleaning up in this shop and then in the hot rod shop next door. So I just got notification that the front tires for Travis's car showed up, and they were being held at FedEx in Golden. So got a shop truck here, so I just drove this down and went and picked up his tires for this thing. Love driving that thing on the street. So many people just give you like the shittiest looks when you drive that thing, but I need front drop knuckles for that thing really badly. But yeah, about just waiting for Cameron and Elizabeth to show up, and then we're going to roll out to the grand opening now. Got earplugs this time.
That's good.
everyone. This is my wife, Bri. We've been in business since 2001. We wanted to move down into the Denver area to expand the business. We've had a business up in Concord since 2001 and up in the mountains, and now we decided to come down into the hills. And we were able to work out a deal. It's taken us a lot of work. Still working on some finances and some things we're going to change, but it's a really, really great location. We're happy to be here.
We're very happy.
Here we go. And it So that was fun. I had a good time over there at their grand opening. A lot of cool people there. Chatted with some new potential customers, which is kind of cool. Drove the drift truck home. It's going to stay at home for a little while. It's driving really fucked up in the front, and when I popped the hood at Cornerstone Auto Glass, I was looking around under the hood. I noticed that the driver's side shock tower is like kind of bent, and I think that's from when me and Kevin hit, you know, that 2 or 3 times or whatever at Willow. So gonna have to figure that out sometime. I'm in no rush to fix that thing, or like in any sort of rush to drive any events with that thing anytime soon. So just kind of sucks that, you know, there's more broken stuff on it than what I thought there was. So I'm waiting for Glenn to show up right now. He's bringing me kind of an oddball project. He's bringing me like a fucking lunch truck, I guess, and it needs new intercooler mounts. So should be here any minute, and start thrashing on that thing, because I don't want a fucking big ass lunch truck sitting here for more than a day. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm in the food truck business now. I make green chili. Yeah. So this thing's a fucking piece of crap, to be honest, but it's kind of cool. 4-cylinder Cummins with a manual. But what I got to do is, it broke off the entire upper section of the intercooler where the mounts are. So I got to pull it out, clean it up, make some new mounts, all that sort of fun shit. I'm gonna go about it a little differently than it was before, because obviously that didn't work. So gonna have to figure it out. First step, get the intercooler out of there. Alright, intercooler's out. Time to clean it up now. So got it all cleaned up, but unfortunately it had a big old dent right here and 3 holes. It's got one there, and one right there, if my camera will focus. But anyways, so I got to try and weld those up first. Probably just throw on as much weld as I can right there. That's not a hole, that's just a divot with some paint in it. And then once I get that welded up and smoothed out, then I'll weld this on the top, and then I'll probably do a tab that grabs the tank and the core, something shaped like this, and then grab the upper mount on the truck. So that's the plan. Well, that was fun. Super thin, super dirty, but got it welded up. And then I found another little hole right there, so I gotta weld that one up. And then I'll have to kind of level that one out so that plate lays flat on top of it, and then go to town welding that plate on. So that's basically it. I just need to weld, you know, fully weld that in, but welded the piece of 1/4-inch aluminum on the top here, tacked it in, welded into the side tank, and just gotta finish it off now. And the reason I decided to go here is there's actually an isolator behind it, so the upper part of the intercooler will remain isolated, and then it has isolators down on the bottom, so it'll be able to move and do what it needs to do and not break off the mounts like it did before, because they were originally like hard mounted to this bracket here, and that's what obviously caused the failure. So rip it out, weld it, clean it, put it back in, ship it. Alright, so it's all welded up. It's hotter than fuck, but burned it in there. Had the machine up to like 185 amps and pedal all the way down and just ran it. I don't know if you guys noticed how I like to keep like the torch lead around my neck. I don't know, it's just like a comfortable thing for me, but I really need to get that water cooler set up because I felt that thing getting hot around my neck and it was kind of unpleasant. So hopefully the pump for the Tweco cooler comes in today and I can smash that thing in there tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait for that thing to cool down now, clean it up, put it back in the truck, and tell them to come get this big old piece of crap. Damn, that motherfucker's leaning hard. I don't know why. But anyways, it's done. So I'm gonna go next door and fucking swing hammers on the hot rod body. I'm not gonna record any of it because it's fucking boring and slow, and I wanted to go get the tires mounted for that thing today, or like maybe start cutting the cage out of it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I get that far today. So Glenn just dropped this one off. This is the thing. It's got a pretty dope supercharger setup on it. If I can pop the hood. There we go. Like a V1 or V2 Pro charger. LS, of course. And they need like a water methanol tank built for this thing. They could have put like one of the Snow Performance ones right here, but they didn't want it getting you know, hot and getting the under hood temps kind of like heat soaking it. So I'm gonna build one custom. I'll probably build it out of like 3/16 aluminum and do like a nice fill cap for it and stuff. But this thing's really sweet. The inside of this thing is just gorgeous. I like the digital gauge cluster this thing has too. But yeah, I bet this thing's really fun to drive. Super sleeper. But it's getting late, so I'm gonna head home now and fucking thrash on that thing tomorrow maybe. Alright, so finally back to the shop. Did like 4 hours of driving around running errands and shit. Got Travis's front tires mounted. Looks pretty good, pretty meaty. I'm gonna have to get adjustable upper control arms for that thing and dial in a little bit of camber. And then I went and picked up the water methanol pump for this GMC and the fittings and the level sender and a couple other little fabrication items, a little weld bung. And then I also picked up some consumables for the new torch. Got some Pyrex and some gas lenses and collets and things like that. And also went and picked up the aluminum I'm going to be using to build the tank for this thing. So now that all the errands are squared away today, someone's coming by possibly later on with some RB26 parts that he needs worked on. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep working on the 28 Chevy Speedster next door. So, oh, and also I picked up some of these slipper clamps, strong hand clamps. So, yep, go next door, work on some hot rod shit. It's about 6 hours of work on that thing. Basically the peak on the back of it, it didn't really have one. Like it had a peak and then it stopped here and then went like totally flat and then had another peak that started again on the bottom. And Kevin didn't like the way it looked, so cut it all apart. Put a piece of 1/4-inch round stock in there to the profile that I wanted, and then cut out all the old shit and welded on some panels. Actually ended up using the slip roll a little bit to form these top two and the bottom two, and then had to plasma cut out a bunch of shit on the inside. There was like a brace that ran all the way across the back, and then the skin was welded to it, and then there was also another cross member back there. So had to plasma cut that shit out. That was pretty fun. But yeah, maybe I'll get the chance to finish weld this entire thing tomorrow and weld grind it and all that stuff. But it's pretty late. Had a long day. 4 hours of driving and doing errands, and another 6 hours of fucking around here. So yep, back at it tomorrow. So now it's the weekend. Spent a lot of time next door on Kevin's hot rod and a little bit of time on this thing. And someone also dropped off these RB26 inlet pipes, and he wanted them divided. So I guess one turbo was like fighting for the air, sucking more air than the other. I'm not an RB guy. I don't know if that actually works, but that's what he wanted. So yeah, and then just been figuring out where the hell I'm going to build the water methanol tank for this thing. And there's a bunch of dead space behind the front crash reinforcement bar. Down below the radiator, there's just a huge pocket of space right there. So I think that's going to be the easy kill for making the tank for this thing. But now it's Saturday. The catch can that I built for my friend is done. I'm going to go pick that up, and then I'm going to go to IMI because today is the after hours drift shop thing, and so I'm going to catch some rides with some people, probably catch a ride with Avery, and hang out and have a good time and watch some skid racing.
Dude, that thing's so fucking loud.
Yeah.
Hey, you all good?
Oh, damn.
You probably need to drive forward off that.
Drive forward.
Wait, get the forward leg or sacrifice his rear end?
I think his rear end's full sacrifice.
Put that wall back, keep it.
It's so dumb that they fucking put that wall there.
Yeah, dude, they fucked you on that.
Like, wait a minute.
Hey, smile for the camera.
Fuck, that sucks.
Not bad. Nah, dude, it's fucking sick, bud. Just stick your fucking ugly mug out there, bud.
Full send. Full send. God damn.
Yeah, dude, she's fine. She'll buff right out.
Thing's like an Ebisu car now. I can send it.
Alright, so I'm gonna drive this thing now. Fucking full send. I'm not used to a car with a door frame. Fucking truck. It's so weird not being in a bucket seat. Oh, like all over the fucking place. You gotta hang on. Oh shit. Oh damn it! Oh damn it! It would have been sick.
eventually. Was fun. I didn't stay for the whole thing. Driving back to the shop now. I gotta actually like try and get some work done today, even though it is Saturday. I just got a lot of work kind of stacking up, so yep, gonna go hopefully build a water methanol tank for that GMC. But yeah, I'll be coming back next Friday is the Yankee Zuko event, so I think that's gonna be like the last event of the year here, so try and make it out and hang out with the Yankee Zuko guys. And so I pulled the front bumper off this thing, and there's a huge spot down there. Just did the math real quick on it for the size of tank that I'm going to put in there. It's going to be 6 by 6.5 by 27 inches wide. That's 1,053 cubic inches, and that's a little over 4.5 gallons. So for a water methanol tank, that's actually pretty fucking big. Because I think the Snow Performance ones that come with the kit, I think those are only like 1 liter. So this should last for a long time. But yeah, so I got my measurements for like my bottom plate for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out and then just start building from there. And it should go pretty quick. It's basically just a box with a couple of tabs, and then a fill neck, a drain or an outlet, and the float. So should be pretty straightforward. And I don't know why, but for some reason this week I've just been on like a James Brown kick. Just, I don't know, just feel good, get you moving, get me going. So, and the weather's been shitty, so it's like I need that kind of like that pick me up. And James Brown's the motherfucking man to do it. So cut the pieces for the bottom that are gonna mount. They're gonna mount to the basically the underside of the frame rail, and that's gonna be the bottom of the tank. So got that piece, and then I wanted to make kind of an overlay piece to give it more structure and put like a cool design on it. And then basically those will be welded together, and the top one, the overlay panel, will be like DA'd, and then I'll polish the underside panel so it has 2 contrasting finishes on it. And then when you look at the truck from underneath, that's what you'll see. I think that'll be a cool touch, and it'll definitely add some strength out here on the ears where it's going to mount. And then it's also going to have like 2 tabs, one off of here and one probably like right here, that'll come and grab these little tabs right here that also hold the bumper cover on. So it's Saturday night. I don't want to be working on weekends anyways, so I think this is a good place to stop. I'm going to end this video here. Next video, I'll be finishing this up and shortening a frame on a Dodge 5500. So if you guys want to see more aluminum fabrication like framework, watch the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. Had a great time at IMI today, even though I was just spectating, but still had a good time. So yeah, stick around. See you guys in the next video. Also, forgot to show you guys, got the water cooler finally set up on the TIG, and it's working. I tested it the other night on a little bit of stainless. See if I could find that piece. So yeah, this was just like a little test piece, not even back purged. So I mean, the inside isn't that good. I didn't spend too much time prepping it either, but I just wanted to make sure it would work and stick two pieces of metal together, and it did. Turned out, you know, decent for the very first stainless weld, and I think that's actually 400 series too, which is kind of a shit stainless, but very stoked to have a water-cooled torch on that thing finally, so when I'm welding aluminum, when I have the lead around my neck, it's not, you know, burning the shit out of me. So that'll be cool. Look at this shiny son of a bitch. Damn, that looks good. Jose at Mile High Polish killed it. Just got to get it engraved now. Yep, I'm out of here.